out there's part heavy metals, part mold, part mycotoxins, figure out what his immune system's doing. These are labs of a 5-year-old boy who was suffering with the incessant giggles. He was suffering with irritability. He would flip his mood on a dime. He would just get really moody, throw tantrums, and not just like any 5-year-old normally would. It was aggressive, it was sudden. His brain cognition wasn't working. He was missing important milestones of development, and his mom was frustrated because she was just bounced around from place to place, not given any actual answers. He was really bloated. He wasn't eating much. He was a really picky eater. And all of a sudden, he would stop eating one thing and just completely transition into another. She tried to figure out what was going on, tried to get his body to heal using certain things, using certain meds, and none of it was working. And eventually she was told that this was just going to be her life for the rest of his life. And that's not a solution. We figured out, we tested his body, see what's going on, figured out there's part heavy metals, part mold, part mycotoxins, figure out what his immune system's doing, and this is what we saw.
One major part of an oats test that we see is we see where heavy metal interact, and we also see how things in the cell cycle get processed. So if something is stuck here, is it a problem here, or is it a problem because it's not flowing down, or is it a problem because it's not flowing up? And that becomes the biggest things we can see internally with each child, is figuring out where it's getting stuck, and is there something like aluminum, like gold, like mercury, like excess of zinc getting stuck in here? Are there mycotoxins? Is there a yeast infection? Is there mold? Are there parasitic responses going on internally? And then also, how do we get energy? We have a cell, we have parts of the energy cycle. We have things like lipids, fatty acids, glucose, all that goes into the cell to help it have energy and to help it regenerate. But if something in this cellular process isn't working efficiently, we got to figure out how, because these kids could be overwhelmingly energetic, both positively or negatively. And that's where we see a lot of outbursts, be it positive or negative. We can see tantrums, flip a script, instant drop of a hat thing, into immediate giggles. And a lot of that has to do with what's going on internally, whether it's yeast, mold, mycotoxins, that kind of stuff. Next thing we take a look at is this immune system and inflammation. And as you can see in this child, it's really high. Why is that important? Because when we take a look at the immune system and the inflammation, we then see how well is the body digesting things. And generally speaking, we want them to be down the middle. And a lot of these markers are on the low end, meaning he's not getting the nutrients in to heal.
All that being said, the most important thing is allowing his body to heal efficiently. You saw his immune system was up. You saw that his digestion was down. So part of it is restoring that digestive process. Part of it is helping support his immune system. We use things like mushrooms. We can use things like digestive enzymes to support him. But really, most importantly, it's about how does the cell use that energy? And that's where we use vitamins. We use B vitamins. We use vitamin C. We use vitamin D. We support his body in that capacity. It's not just about giving him supplements, because a lot of those supplements are much better as food. I would prefer him to eat fruits, veggies, and those kinds of things. But with him being such a picky eater, you have to supplement it because he's not going to eat those things right away. Now, the good news I can report is that since we've started working with him, since his body's gotten back on track, he now has a diet back. He's way less bloated, and he has much better behavioral regulation. And he seems to be picking up more of his external world and not just focused internally, because his body was in shambles, and now it's much better.